my name is Gregory Scott and this is your astrology forecast for September 2015. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be able to do this reading for you. You start September in a very harmonious way because there's a lot of fire going on at the beginning of the month and you're a fire sign. So you really feel like literally you're in your element at the beginning of this month and you hit the ground running in September. Uranus, your planet of rebellion and energy, it actually starts to build a trine relationship with Mars between the 29th of August and goes through until the 18th of September. And your Mars is in your first house in your sign of Leo, and your Uranus is in Aries, in another fire sign in your 9th house. So really, you're going to feel a massive desire and a massive pull to expand, to make things bigger in your life, to go on a trip, to go on a journey, to get promoted at work, to have more of an impact, to make things bigger, to start your own business, to expand your business. That's going to be huge for you at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of September, Leo. So really tap into that, because with all this fire, with all this masculine driven energy, you can really get a lot done. Uranus also trines Venus, the goddess of love, all month. And Venus sits next to Mars. So if you think about Mars, the archetypal male, and Venus, the archetypal female, what happens when they usually come together? There's a conception of new life. So if you apply yourself, if you use your energy to make things happen, you can create something new and you can fulfill your desire to expand and to become bigger. So success is already there for you. All you need to do is show up and make it happen. Neptune has been opposing Jupiter since the 15th of August and continues that opposition, so they're totally across from each other, bouncing off each other, until the 14th of October. Neptune's in your 8th house of other people and dreams, and the occult and sex, and Jupiter's in your 2nd house in Virgo, in the practical side of things. So it's interesting, it's like there's a bigger dimension to what you're doing, and there's a groundedness to your dreams, if that makes sense. So it could be that you're taking action in certain things, and that the inspiration for those actions have come through your dreams to expand your business, for instance, because you had a dream. So if you have a sporting goods shop, for instance, you dreamt, you saw the new shelves, you saw the extension, and then you take practical action to make that happen. And vice versa, your dreams are about very practical things, like the new extension in the sports shop. Okay, so the two are kind of working together, and they're inspiring you to make your life bigger. That is the theme already at the beginning of September here, that your life is like a balloon and it's having air blown into it at the moment. It's expanding and getting bigger. On the 3rd of September, Mercury, the planet of communication, starts to square Pluto, the planet of rebirth and regeneration. Mercury is very well placed in your 3rd house in Libra. It's the communication planet. It's in your house of communication, and it's in an air sign, which is very conducive to communication. So you are very good at literally getting your point across. And getting that point across can really literally rebirth your practical circumstances and really create something in practice. So Leo, so far, out of all of the signs of the zodiac, you're going to have the most success at the beginning of September in terms of your practical life and actually having new things appear in your day-to-day life. The moon squares Jupiter in the midheaven on the 4th. And that is between seeing yourself as a working person, having that good luck and that growth in your career, and really feeling totally at ease making the changes. Sometimes, people want to expand their business or change things around, but they don't have the confidence to do so. Not you on the 4th of September. You will know exactly what you're doing, and you will have complete confidence that you can achieve those things. On the 5th, there's a T-square in your chart, which is a great area of motivation. It's again between your Sun and your Jupiter and your Neptune, and it kind of channels out into your Moon in your 11th house. Talk to your friends, talk to people in your social network, because they will communicate something which will give you ideas, which you can then build on even more. Speak to your romantic partner as well, if you have one, or someone who's close to you, because they will impart some knowledge which you can then use, which is going to be of great help to you. There's a massive area of talent on the 7th of September in your chart, and that's a grand trine in water. So on this day, you're going to feel very much inspired, and you're going to get a message from the universe. Neptune, the moon in the 12th, and the ascendant, the rising sign in the 4th, you're going to feel very much at home in your own spirituality, and you will have a dream that's going to help you overcome an obstacle, or help you with this expansion process, or help you heal a disappointment from the past. But it will be an internal message that you get, not from the outside world. You know, sometimes the universe speaks to us through signs, or it speaks through us through. If I could speak, I could tell you what I'm trying to say. It speaks to us through other people at times, but not on the 7th of September. The message is going to come through your internal world, your dreams, your intuitions, your feelings. Venus also comes out of retrograde on this day, which is huge because Venus has been in retrograde since the 24th of July. Venus is the goddess of love and starting new ventures. Now that it comes out, things flow more easily. You're much more able to commit yourself to things that you love and make them happen. The moon starts to trine Saturn on the 9th of September. And that's interesting because I think your family life is going to give you the support and structure to really allow you to be the person you want to be. You're going to feel really supported. You know, sometimes if you're married and you want to do something risky. So for instance, if you're a husband and wife and you've got 2 kids, okay, and you've got your own business, and you say to your husband, hey, listen, Scott, you know, I want to expand the business. We're going to have to tighten our belts a little bit, but I really want to do this. Then sometimes, you know, the partner says, well, you sure you want to do this? I'm not sure, we should shake the boat and keep things as they are. You're going to not have that kind of response. You're going to have a very supportive response from the people nearest and dearest to you. And Scott's going to say, darling, of course, you know, if you want to do it. I'm fully behind you, and that'll make your job so much easier, and the success will come more easily as well. So on the 9th, if you do need to have support from others, ask for it on the 9th of September. It's a good day to get a positive response from people in your life. Your ascendant, the next day of that is an extension of it, because your ascendant starts to square your Venus, your moon, and your Mars in your first house. And people are behind you because you're so certain of yourself. People support you and they're behind you in your ventures. So you will feel great emotional backing. On the 12th, the sun and the moon are getting ready for the new moon that's happening tomorrow on the 13th of September. But everything's lining up in your second house. You've got Jupiter, the good luck planet. You've got the moon. You've got the sun and your midheaven work in Virgo in your second house. The 12th of September is a really good time for you to figure out, to have an idea, to take practical action, or to plan on a practical level how you're going to improve your financial life, how to bring more abundance into your life. The next day, when the new moon actually occurs, you get a lot of harmonious energy coming in, giving you great ideas of how you can achieve this. So really the theme for you this month already, Leo, is that of the builder. You're really building a better structure in your life. You're building a bigger life, a life that is expanding. Now, the new moon is in Virgo, and like I said, it brings in more harmonious energy, but it's also a partial solar eclipse. So it's not completely covered, but the sun is partially covered, and it's on the north node. So an eclipse on the north node is about drawing new energy in, and you're going to find that you understand how to build those bridges. You're going to understand how to get from A to B. You know, it's one thing deciding that, oh yes, I'm going to have a fabulous fashion line, but it's another thing actually figuring out how to put that into practice. So you will experience practical info that comes in on the 13th of September. The other thing is that if you want to actually see this eclipse, don't bother unless you're in South Africa or in Southern Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Malawi, Madagascar, and Antarctica. You're not going to be able to see it in America, Europe, anywhere like that. Okay. Mercury is in Libra all month, which is really helpful because that is in a communication sign. It's an air element. and it's in your third house. So I really want you to rely on your own communicative abilities very heavily this month, because you'll be able to express things very, 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 very well. Very. On the 15th, Saturn starts to square Mars, and this is interesting because Saturn is the soldier. Think of it as the boy who wants what he wants and he throws a tantrum if he doesn't get it, especially when it's in your sign Leo. And then you've got Saturn, which is the old man, which is like, this is the status quo, this is what we give out. It's like, think of it as communism, okay? It doesn't matter what you want, this is what everyone gets. And they kind of start to butt heads. And your Mars is in your sign, so it's going to be very powerful in your first house of self. So you're strongly going to feel what it is you want. But on the 15th, you're going to start to run into some opposition. So if you're trying to expand the building, maybe it's the council saying, hey, you need planning permission, or this is a listed building, you can't make changes to it. You're going to start getting some of that kind of barriers that you're going to run into, and that's going to frustrate you a little. To say the least, okay? So the way to do that is to realize that you can overcome these obstacles and don't be discouraged. You know, most things in life aren't, some things in life are very straightforward, and some things just fall into your lap, but a lot of other things aren't, okay? And just because some things aren't straightforward or aren't super smooth doesn't mean they're not meant to be. You can still continue to apply yourself, and if you work hard for the things, often you value them more. So that's the case here. And the day after, 2 days after in fact, oh, let me just tell you that opposition, that square between the Mars and the Saturn planets is from the 15th of September through until the 5th of October. So it's 2+ weeks, okay? On the 17th, the moon starts to sextile, where is the moon? Let's see. The moon starts to sextile your Jupiter and your midheaven and your Pluto. And this is interesting because on this day, you really get some news which really solidifies your structure, your roots in your life. And I think it has something to do with work. So it could be that you get a bonus, or that you get a company car, but you get something that makes your life more convenient and more comfortable and more physically structured. That's the 17th of September. On the 18th, Saturn goes into Sagittarius, which is a big deal. It stays there until December 2017. I've made a separate video on this, have a look at it. But your Saturn is in your 5th house of romance and relationship. Now don't despair, this doesn't mean a bad thing. What this means is Saturn always puts everything under the microscope, okay? It scrutinizes things. In Saturn, it scrutinizes how you're progressing, how you're moving forward. And it's in your romance sector. So what that means is you're going to be very discerning, very clear on how you're going to progress in your romantic life. So if you're in a relationship, you're going to ask, where is this going? Is this going anywhere, or should I not bother? Or are we getting engaged or married? Is this going in the right direction? If you're single, if you meet people, you're very clearly going to be able to make decisions of, this is someone I can see myself being with, this is someone I can't see myself being with. And this is really positive because a lot of people are very permissive when it comes to relationships. You know, some people say, oh, I've just met this person, I'm not particularly attracted to him physically. He does seem to have a bad attitude and a temper, but I think I'll go for it because at least I won't be alone. I'm not kidding, a lot of people, and myself included to some degree in the past, have thought along those lines, and we do kind of make allowances, even though obviously it's not as explicit as that. You know, we don't have that dialogue in our head saying, this person is totally wrong for me, I'm going to go for it. You know, it's often much more subtle. But certainly with your Saturn now in Sagittarius in that location, you're not going to fall victim to that. So that's, Saturn is really helping you create more structure. So when you do meet the right person, you're going to say, I can trust my own judgment here because I am critical at the moment, and this person seems absolutely fabulous and perfect, therefore let's go for it. Because if it wasn't right, I would have thrown it out. So that's very good. On the 20th, the moon starts to square Chiron in your, Chiron's in your 8th, and the moon is in your 5th. That's interesting because Chiron is the part of the chart that's often very difficult. And the moon is what you're comfortable with. And on the 20th, you're going to talk to someone or meet someone or be with someone, and that's going to heal some sort of disappointment from your past, especially in intimate relationships. So it could be that your last boyfriend cheated on you, and on this day, you and your girlfriend go to a theme park and you go on a roller coaster and you laugh your heads off, and on some internal level, you realize that, yes, I can have fun again. You know, that's a healing. I can do this again. I can feel this. That's the type of healing. And that's the kind of thing I think you'll experience. It doesn't have to be those circumstances, obviously, but that's the kind of healing you'll have. There's also a grand fire, not a grand fire, which is called a bonfire. There's a grand trine, a big area of talent in your chart in the element of fire. That's between your first house, your fifth house, and your ninth house. And this is kind of a cleansing. It's a cleansing of yourself, of the way you feel about yourself, about the way you feel about other people. And if you've had any reservations about how you're going to progress in future in regard to romantic relationships particularly, that's going to be cleansed and healed, and you're going to find a way forward. So the Chiron and Moon and Grand Trine here, they work together to really open you up and give you renewed hope for the future. On the 22nd, there is a T-square in your chart, and that's between your great ability to communicate and your desire to expand in some sort of unique way. I really think, oh, that scared me, sorry, I need to turn my Skype off. There we go. It always happens at the wrong time. Okay, so it occurs between your communication and your desire to communicate differently. Right, and what I get is that on a practical level, someone's going to mention something to you, or you're going to see something maybe in a brochure or a catalogue, which is going to allow you to either take up a new course to expand your skill set or to go on a trip. I think something like that presents itself on the 22nd. On the 24th, the moon starts to quincunx your Jupiter in your second, and again another message, and this is kind of karmic. So other people are really helping you this month. Other people are really kind of dropping little hints, little tidbits, little gold mines of information, and it's important for you to really pay attention to those because it's going to benefit you. And on the 24th, I think someone in your working life says something in passing that's really going to enable you to improve your own work situation and create more financial stability in your world. So look out for that on the 24th. On the 25th, Mars goes into Virgo, and again, in your second house. So you've now got the soldier on your side in terms of what you're going to achieve in your practical financial life. It sits there with Jupiter and your midheaven. I mean, to me, it looks like you're driven to succeed. If you're in a sales job, this is perfect for you because you're going to be at the top of the boards. If you have to really work very hard and really influence people or drive to get things done, perfect energy for you. But I do get things moving forward in your career, but what I also get is a heightened desire to achieve. And the two go hand in hand. I want to do better, therefore I apply myself, therefore I do better. And because there has been this karmic influence, what you put in, you get out. You know, sometimes you can work your behind off and nothing happens, but not in this case. So the more you put in, the more you will get out. On the 28th, there is a full moon in Aries, and this is known as the harvest moon. It's, you know, the real last kind of big moon of the summer season. And it's a blossoming, it's a flowering in your ninth house in Aries. So it's a great time. You're going to feel the desire to expand again, to build, to grow, to explore new horizons, to go on adventures, to build new kind of structures in your life. But it's not just that, it's also a total lunar eclipse. And it's an eclipse that is on the south node, so it's about letting things go. It's about letting go the desire to do everything your own way, and you become teachable, I feel, around the end of the month. And You don't have to do everything. You don't have to reinvent the wheel all the time. I think you're able to listen to what other people have to offer, and I think you're able to take that on board. If you actually want to see this, if you're on the east coast of the States of North America, or if you're in South America or Western or Central Europe or Western Africa, you can see this. So let me finish off the month here. On the 30th of September, we finish the month with a grand trine in Earth. And a grand trine, again, is an area of real talent, of having a real knack for it. And unsurprisingly, again, it's in your sector of work and finance. So you end the month as well with really being able to progress by leaps and bounds in your working life and to really move forward with it. So again, this is a great time to pitch a new idea, to ask for a promotion, to start a new business, to expand your business. All of those things, end of the month, really, really good for you. So I hope that's been useful. If you'd like a private reading with me, please visit my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to find out what types of readings I offer. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. It actually helps the videos to be found if people subscribe to my channel, which I've figured out recently. And if you want to find me on Facebook, you can as well. It's facebook.com/GregoryScott444. Have a wonderful September. It looks like a really great month for you, and I'll speak to you soon.